G'day, g'day, g'day. Welcome back. This is season 1, episode 6. Good chat. I am in the studio today with Noah again, my co-host, and the guests today are Sergeant Derek Brady and Josh Ashford. How we going, guys? What's been happening?
Yeah, good, mate. I had a great day, actually. It's been a good week, and it's a pleasure to be here.
I'm feeling very fresh.
Josh is not fresh at all, but
look at it. Feeling good. Feeling good.
Your eyes are looking dodgy actually.
Thanks.
Actually, it's more the left than the right.
You got AIDS.
You're just cross-eyed.
I have dyslexia.
Pink eye.
So today our first topic will be, we're going to talk a little bit about preparing for a big session on the piss. So everyone at this table right now, we've all seen and looked down the barrel of a couple of massive sessions. And we know what works for us, we know what doesn't work for us. So, Dad, being the veteran, what works, what doesn't work?
Mate, a bit of maturity on my side is certainly the food. The food side of things.
Oh, mate.
Mate, if there's food involved, I'm not having a big night at all. I'm in.
Oh, really? Like, like you eat too much?
Oh, mate, I'm passed out and I'm ninjaing it really early.
I feel like there's a window. There's a window with food, and it's like you got to eat, but you can't eat too much or not enough.
Where to eat?
Yeah, like if you don't eat at all, then your night can just fucking.
If I know I'm getting on the beers, I like to call it carb loading.
Yeah,
Carb
exactly.
loading, like eat in the morning and then get on the beers, and then you're usually sweet. But like you get those days where you don't eat it. I've had those nights where I haven't eaten anything all day and I'm getting kicked out of the pub at 7:30.
Yeah, it's like
literally. But like other days when I do eat good, I'm having a great night.
I use the term beer drunk. Like so people will know who drink beer that like you have days where it's hot and you're just on sessions where you just can just drink beer and you just forget to eat. And like then when it comes to dinner time, but if it's dinner time and you're hungry and someone lets you get to the fucking bistro and you have a palmy garlic bread and there's fucking chocolate cake they got for dessert there, you're going home 20 minutes straight after that because you're just going to be
100%. I actually think my attitude to the food consumption, if you're going to get on the grog, is that if you change your pattern of eating.
Yeah.
I'm not a big eater, but if you change your pattern for a particular day because you're going to get on the beers that night.
Yeah.
Don't anticipate that you're going to be any constructive bloody participation.
No, God no.
Yeah, so my attitude is that you can't change. If you're not a breakfast eater, I'm not a breakfast eater. So if you have a breakfast just anticipating that you're going to have a night on the grog, I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Keep what your norm is.
It's tough, but I'm obviously, and me and Noel find it funny because we've had a couple of nights and we have an inside joke now where it's like, oh fuck, we start drinking and it's just like, oh, I haven't eaten today, and then we just kind of just like, oh shit.
You had your third beer. You finished your third beer. Yeah. I'm a little bit more drunk than I
I'm feeling it.
See, the last time I'd had a bad day big day on the piss and hadn't eaten, I tripped down the front steps of the Lease Club and shoulder charged a steel pole, and I woke up.
Come off second best.
Yeah, no, they're still getting that.
Yeah, the Lease Club, they've got to get a new pole.
But they that night, I don't remember that, but I woke up in bed thinking I was having a heart attack because I was in that much pain. But you have no idea what's happening. It's just because I didn't eat. And then last time Noah had a night on the
last time that I didn't eat was a Friday. And work finished at 12:30, and we were heading to the Gold Coast for a bit of a pub crawl thing for our sister's 24th, 5th, yeah. And I got a little bit too excited and started drinking beers in the car. And then all of a sudden, we pull up at this brewery. Started this brewery. Started drinking these beers that were some ridiculous, 10%.
Hornets.
They were super Hornets, yeah.
They were
Hornets.
They were absolutely deadly. And the last thing I remember was moving to the Miami Tap in in the Gold Coast and shouting 7 Jaeger bombs.
Yeah.
And then I lost track of time. At this point, I was done. Woke up in Pottsville on the couch at about 9 o'clock.
Yeah, that was funny. It was
9 o'clock. I got kicked out at 7:30.
Yeah, it
I
was
don't remember
early.
shit.
It was early. You get kicked.
But freaked out. I was like, how did I get from Burleigh Heads to Pottsville within an hour? I was scared.
Nah, I feel like, and Josh actually made a note of it before, that like the nights that you try to plan often don't turn out to be the best, and the nights that you don't have planned and you're like, oh, I'll just go for a few beers, and then you end up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're still going and you're still having a good time. Like those are the better nights. Like I can sit at home all I want and be like, oh, I got a big session coming up, and heartburn or like something like something to
put you off.
Like I'll have quickies on me every other time. Like no quickies, and it just
Your Titans lose. Actually,
Yeah.
that
yeah.
made you drink last night, didn't it, Josh?
Oh yeah, that made him go down a bit quicker. Feel the pain.
But the Titans.
Didn't work. Yeah.
You're a Titans fan, aren't you?
Yeah.
God, pity that he only played up for 15 minutes or like.
Yeah. No, they
Oh, dude, best 15 minutes of football I've seen all
Yeah, they're really good at turning it on for about 15 to 20 minutes a game, and then turn it back off.
God, you could put a whole episode on that game last night, couldn't you?
Shout out Bo Fella.
Yeah.
Shout out.
First game of the year.
Killing it.
Yeah, biggest winger in the NRL.
So yeah, any other tips for just getting on session or just stress less?
Spontaneity, mate. Spontaneity, mate.
All
You just mentioned it before that.
Spontaneity.
The nights that you're not anticipating. Like if you have a big build up for a weekend or a build up for a party, and then you think this is going to be great. It's going to be great. Sometimes you pumped it so much up in your head that it doesn't end up being it.
Can't live up to the expectation that you built it up to.
I'm 1,000 years old, and then the best nights that I've had on the drink are the ones where your mum and I have gone down the pub for let's just go down and watch the footy this afternoon. We end up coming home because we caught up with random people and had the best nights out.
Nice home in the courtesy bus.
Pack the kids up in the courtesy bus, go home. Can one of you feed the dogs, please?
No, I think that's one of the best parts of what we've Pubcats is that because there's like a group of us is that, and because we've all become like such close mates, it's like you never know. Like those nights happen more often at the moment because we have this like tight knit group, and we've actually got a fair number of us, and we'll go to the pub with like 5, 6 of us, and then next thing you know, there's like 5, 6 of us still out. Like the other night we went out and there was like fucking 5, 6 hours, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then the Criterion was closing its door behind us, like to kick us out on a Sunday night, I think. Yeah.
Just on that with preparing, I know you said and it's not sometimes. But I've come to find probably over the last 12 months, like in the last 12 months I've obviously done a lot with like training and gymming, and I was able to lose quite a few kilos.
Yeah.
So for me it's changed. I've got to prepare. I've gone from having 30 plus kilos
To suck
where I got comfortable drinking and eating with that weight to losing weight, and all of a sudden I'm getting kicked out of the pub at 7:30 because I've got this new alcohol tolerance.
Yeah.
So for me, when I know, it's a Saturday, there's beers this afternoon, I know I've got a carb load that morning or else I'm going to be shit-faced.
Yeah, it's funny that how like you can get, like obviously there is science behind it, but you get people that are just stripped up that just cannot handle it, but then you got fat guys that just can drink and then go home sober.
Yeah, 100%. That is alcohol tolerance. I'll talk old school now. I remember when I was early in my policing career. This is back in Mount Isa days, and Mount Isa days we had I won't mention names, but we had a senior constable there. I was a trainee at the time. This is like 22, 23 years ago.
Yeah.
And he rarely ever drank. I mean, I was a first year constable up in Mount Isa, and you'd have a drink at the Police Rec Club up in Mount Isa. Shout out Mount Isa Police Rec Club. Awesome night. Had a great many nights out there. And this particular senior Connie who'd come down and get on, and all he drank was Southern Comfort of all things.
Oh shit!
And he got on this Southern Comfort, this medicine tasting liquor, and he wrote himself off totally, and like to the point where my dorm room was directly above the rec club. And we had to carry him. He was my supervisor. We had to carry him up to the shift supervisor's desk to get him a ride home because he couldn't even walk.
Yeah.
And they, for a joke, we put him on one of those breathalyzers.
Yeah.
And he actually blew under the legal limit. Like he blew .045 or something. So in the eyes of the law, he
could still drive a car.
He could legally drive. But this bloke was written off. Like there's no way in the world we end up getting him a ride home.
Yeah.
But he was massively just
maggot.
Wow.
Yeah, but there was not one stitch of fat on him. He used to train a lot.
Oh, man.
And very used to rarely drink or anything. He was a boxing trainer and stuff like that. But mate, he was totally written off. I said, "Oh goodness me, I'm not drinking with him again."
Scary.
I might get in a shower with him though.
No, I don't know about Southern Comforts in the shower with him.
Oh, Southern Comfort. Oh god, medicine.
See, I think like with especially me and Josh and Noel, like me and Noel didn't go to many parties, but me and Josh went to a few parties together, and we were talking about it the other day and this morning about how chicks our age on the piss, like obviously it would have been an ongoing through the ages, but women are fucking scary.
Creatures.
Like, yeah, like I feel like they don't get the credit that they deserve. I've seen some chicks at parties just like, or you'll be at pre-drinks and you're just like there drinking your beers, like you brought your 10-pack of beers or whatever.
That's what I mean, you go to like a little party or whatever, you begged and pleaded your mum or dad to buy a 6-pack.
Yeah.
Beers only, righto. Rock up to a party with your 6-pack of Great Northerns. Super crisp or something, and then there's some chick there with a full bottle of Smirnoff, no mixers, and you're like,
what? He used to terrify.
What happened?
He used to terrify me. Like you go rock up to pre-drinks and some chick's just there, like, yeah, let's get lifted, and just like swinging from a bottle of vodka, and you're just like, you're fucking insane. But you know what? She's fucking still keeping up with you, like. Into the night.
For like 20 minutes.
Power to the women.
Passed out on the couch.
Power to the women. Power to the women.
Yeah.
Power to the fucking women.
Scary. I don't know what the big thing about just like, I'm not a shot man.
No.
I don't like shots.
No.
But you still see it now. Like you go to the pub. And
I actually think there's a new revolution of shots.
Yeah,
I think
it's like a big thing.
COVID knocked it around, and the liquor laws have kind of changed it as well. That it's difficult to find places that are going to go to get you shots and give you shots. But I actually think I want shots.
Well, how do you say that? Because I never been a shots kind of bloke until probably the last 4 months when the pub started reopening, and then it was like the party scene was back on, and I fucking remember like never ever doing shots regularly up until then, and then now it's like it's not unregular for me to do a shot. I'm not reaching for a shot pre-drinks all the time.
No.
But our older sister, she is fucking.
Yeah, Livy's scary. I remember my 18th.
You're 18.
I remember my 18th rocking. We've done like we're doing a pub call through Dolby.
Oh.
I think we're on the 4th or 5th, and I'm already half cut because like it's my birthday, so I'm getting a free schooner at every pub plus more. We go to the bloody country club before it closed and reopened, and it's just shots galore. I didn't know how she could afford it.
I actually think I remember being there.
That was after she shared
with Liv when we were at the country club, and she shouted like heaps of shots.
Yep.
So many. She shouted like everyone around, and then half the people didn't want it, so she just did them anyway.
She just did them herself.
Oh,
that's the last thing.
So good.
Oh,
Thanks for the shots.
That's like your reaction. He was like, well done.
But some people can just handle it really well, and then other people like vomiting 10 minutes later.
I've done those shots, and to finish the night out, I think I ended up getting kicked out of Windsor because I was shirtless.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Oh fuck.
That's how I got shots.
Well, that's the thing with shots for me. Is that like I can't handle. Like you do one, and you like mentally prepare for it. So you're like, this is gonna taste shit. I can stomach this. But if you're like caught off guard, well, I know if I'm caught off guard and I'm like someone throws me one, I'll just spew straight
No,
up.
there is not a good shot out there.
No. Or if there is, it'd be like fuck all alcohol in it. It'd be like a little milkshake or something.
Be too
like cowboy,
but
cocksucking cowboy shots. I'm pretty sure they're just like Kahlua and a little bit of milk.
But the milky shit makes you fucking
Makes
feel
you
sick.
stomach
I don't know how
Gross.
people drink those.
No
With
good.
mud
Cruise
shakes.
and mud shakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went through a phase. I bought one time. I haven't
Cocksucking cowboy. Is that the cocksucking cowboy?
The cocksucker. I went
Or
through
was
the
that before you had
cocksucking.
the drink?
Cocksucking phase. I went through it.
Cocksucking Cowboys.
I haven't grown out of it yet. The first time I ever bought those mud shakes, I just wanted to try them. I got on them. I didn't mind them. They were good. Then,
Yeah.
They were good, but then I can't drink them now. I think I had one big night on them, and that did it for me. I seen them.
You don't taste the alcohol, do you? It's like a
Nah.
chocolate hard.
It's a chocolate thing. I think that's why it snuck up on me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, these are so good, chocolate milk.
We'll go around the table just quickly. Tell us your best getting kicked out story. No, that's Getting kicked out of a pub, or security asking you to leave, or...
Jesus, I don't really know. Mine would probably be that night. Again, back to the food thing. I hadn't eaten all day. We started at Tyson's, and
Is that when you like...
I got kicked out. Yeah, I got kicked out of the cry at about 9:30, and had no shirt on. It was an absolute mess. I think the security had given me about 3 warnings, and was like really good to me. He's like, "No, mate, you can't. You just sit there. Just sit there, mate. Drink your water." And I don't remember anything. I remember Blake talking to me about it the next day, and I was like, "Where were you?" And he's like, "I was right next to you the whole time for about an hour." And I was like, nice, glad that was real.
Was this at the cry?
This is at the cry.
Was that when you were like asleep on the floor and the security guard kept coming to wake you up? I think I remember being there as well, because you were like, we were in the TAB area, and you were like asleep on the floor. I was like, "Oh, Noah, the security guard's watching you. You should probably get up." Like, "No, that's right, I'll just have a sleep here." And they come over like, "Hey mate, you might want to sit up, have some water." And you were like, "Yeah, all right." Got up, have your water.
I
And you're
remember,
like, "Oh, fuck this," back on the
being
ground.
in the toilet with a couple of old
That's
guys.
what I think they caught me spewing in the toilet.
And Noah was
take me
spewing,
home.
Noah had spewed all over the toilet. And I think it was Tidy Q was like holding the door shut and security's trying to get in. And like someone else was helping Noah like clean up.
No one's getting through that door of tidy kills up against the wall.
And then like Noah gets out and his shirt's
Alright.
Noah gets out his shirt's like on but no buttons on, and the security's like, "Look mate, I've done pretty well to put up with you, but you're fucking gone."
I probably was like, "Thank you very much."
By that point, you were probably like, "Please take me home."
My best one, and probably like my funniest one, was at Oscar's 23rd birthday, and we went to the bowls club, and I'd won about $4,000 on the pokies, and so I was like, "Oh yeah, we're fucking on tonight." Like I was stressed about money up until then.
Daddy's got the
$4,000 on
sugar
place.
now.
Yeah. I got chockies in the fridge now, baby. And then we get to the next
Come
part.
over with $10.
And you can imagine like how much money. You didn't start the night with that much money. Why do you deserve to end the night with that much money?
I'm not
So we
taking
get to the next pub.
taking it home.
Buying cocktail, and if you haven't heard this joke, you ask people if they're still together, and then if they proceed to say,
worst joke
if they proceed to say who
Hilarious.
or what or whatever, in your cheeks, in your cheeks. But like the funniest side of it is you can get more people to hype it up. And so we got to the next pub, and I was running it on every bartender that was in.
Yeah, you should have got kicked out.
Was within range.
This is a bad
But
joke.
Oscar was like, the next day I was like, "I don't even know why I got kicked out." And he's like, "You were like, in your cheeks, you stupid cunt." Yelling at bartenders.
You can't bring
I'm
up
like,
the
"Oh."
C word,
But then,
that's terrible.
But then security come grab me and got me out, and Oscar's just like, "Nah, man, you didn't have a shirt on for like."
He's there like, I don't know. He's like, "That's funny with that."
You know,
why don't I get
you know,
kicked out?
you know the
Like,
worst
get
part
no
of that-
shirt on, bro.
The worst part is that Oscar agreed that you should have got kicked out, and then like that's a pretty hierarchy there.
If you've seen me out, you know.
Yeah, if Oscar's saying you need to go, you need to leave.
You should have left a lot earlier than that.
If you know me, you know you don't have to imagine much, but I do not have a good rig at all. So
Yeah, when?
Me cruising around in a nightclub and like my shirt tucked into the front of my pants like an NFL quarterback, like to dry my hands of all the stuff. And then security coming up to me and be like, "Hey mate, I think you've had enough."
I'm surprised the troops didn't ring me up. Can you come and take your boy?
Me would be like, "When?" And he'd be like, "What?" I'd be like, "Did I ask?" And then he kicks me out.
They're still together.
Josh, give us your best one, mate.
Josh has got a couple.
Yeah, there's a few. Let me just think about all of them.
Josh turns into a cranky man.
No, I'm alright until they tell me to go home. I live there. I don't want to go home. Probably one of the funniest ones would be when we were at the Gold Coast. I think it might have been like Tyson's birthday.
Yeah.
And we were all at that.
Was it Melba's?
Yeah.
It was the first pub. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was pretty early. It might have been like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we were there, and I remember we all like tipped in heaps of money to the bartender. Like, it's Tyson's birthday. Can you just like make him a big fish bowl of like whatever,
yeah,
whatever you can make with all this money.
We all put in like $50.
Oh
like
my
$300.
Yeah.
We're just like,
We were like, whatever you can make with that. Can you put it in a fish bowl? And then gave it to Tyson.
Was it a big bowl?
Like a big
like,
fish
you
bowl.
taste it?
You were watching this time. You were watching him make it. He's just like 4 bottles of spirits.
He gave it to Tyson, and literally probably almost before he fucking puts it on the table, Tyson grabbed it and it's just sculled it all down. Yep, down.
I'm pretty sure we didn't see that bartender.
And then
he went up to the other end of the bar and started serving people.
And then about 10 minutes later, you just see, I think I saw the videos, Tyson's like running around behind the bar.
There's like a break in the bar.
He's just like running through.
Melbourne's in Gold
Coast.
It's like one of the biggest pubs there.
And
geez, done well.
He's running in, and then next thing there was like there must have been like a Bucks party or something, because they had them big blow up dicks, and Tyson like went over there and like stole it from
a big hit.
from their part, the big blow up one. He just starts hitting everyone with it, and then he gets up.
Is this a Tyson kick out story or you?
No, we all get kicked out because Tyson then gets up on the bar.
Well, we're like, Tyson, shake a leg on the bar. And then he's like, there's actually a really funny video. I should play it actually while I post this. But Tyson swings a leg up to get on the bar. And there's like a bartender, or she could have been a manager.
He's short-footed as a mountain goat old Tyson.
He's just like, you know how like big boy trying to get on something, either like thrust, like it's not one movement, it's like a
big bull,
and then, like jump.
The big bull.
He's gonna like up, and then this like chick, she must have been a manager because she was in plain clothes, or a detective, and she's like
FBI.
slapped her hand on his chest and pushed him back off the bar, then just clicked over security. Security comes, grabs him, grabs me, and like
there was about 6 or 7 of us, and we were all out of there pretty quickly.
And then it's just like a hooty-hoo call for like, right, there we go, next pub. And then we were all just like,
everyone had to
a couple of us were like black line for every nightclub on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, we didn't get in many after that.
Nah.
But that was probably one of the funniest.
But we ditched Tyson and we found him about
found
an hour later.
Sleeping surfers.
Scary times.
I can't really think of the last time we got kicked out. Like when I talk about when you get escorted out of pubs, I obviously in a different era where
definitely.
Yeah,
it was looser hours.
Looser in the respect that there was a lot more. I wouldn't say violent. Yeah, a lot more you can get away with. Like, you know, if you walked around with a pub back in my day when I was going to the pubs after a footy game or something like that, you got respect for that. you never got kicked out for that.
Fuck yeah.
But it was probably back in the day. You got into a fight and stuff like that, and you got kicked out, and that's fair enough. Yeah, I do remember one time at Caloundra, not well renowned for their nightclubs. They're terrible nightclubs. I don't even know if they got one anymore at Caloundra.
Ocean Street, Sunny Coast.
Yeah, but Caloundra got kicked out for. We had a fancy dress time where we all turned up at the pub wearing dressed as women. I was playing for the Sharkies then at the time, and he had to dress up as
Caloundra Sharks.
Caloundra Sharks. They're going alright this year. And I was playing a bit of senior footy there, and turned up dressed as a woman, and some bloke give me a bit of a hard time, and I ended up getting a scrap dressed up as a woman with the wig and all, and we got kicked out, which is fair enough. Like a bit of violence in the pub, and that's all good. The funny thing about that night is that I was pretty ridden that night, and I went downstairs from the nightclub, and I was very tired. And I slept in the back of some random person's ute. And then the funniest thing, like, it would have been close to the entry to the nightclub, and then I woke up in some industrial area cloundra.
Oh shit!
In the back of a ute, and I was using a tornado cover, which is in the back of his highlights or whatever it was, as a blanket, and I got up in the middle of the night, or not in the middle of the night,
still dressed as a
in that
Sheila.
morning, still dressed up as a Sheila, and I jumped out the back of that ute, and this blue heeler just bailed me up, like full on wanted to attack me. So I had to jump in the back of the ute to summons up the courage to sprint down the road to outrun this blue heeler. And then
Still dressed as a Sheila.
Still dressed as I was still in the dress. I lost the wig. And then I ran home, and then, like, you boys, your grandma, she was none too impressed when I got home that night.
Would have been
still wearing her dress without some random wig.
Oh, all right. We've talked about sesh. We've talked about pre-sesh. We've talked about getting blackout. We've talked about getting kicked out.
Here's one. Go back to your first topic you were talking about, the spontaneous. I want to hear this one. Your spontaneous night out, the one night out's best night out when you shouldn't have been drinking. Give that one a thought.
I was still in school, and but I had to repeat. I was 18, and me, you, and Travis Babington, I think, were quote unquote celebrating me graduating for the second time. And it was a Monday night, and I had work the next morning, and it was only supposed to be a couple of beers, and then Travis was like throwing garbage bins when we got home at like 2 o'clock that morning.
I think Ducky took us home in his car from the League Club about 12.
And you still had Ducky's headgear on. We were like cruising around Travis and Eula's house. But yeah, no, I can't even remember, mate. I just know that I've had some fucking good ones where you just haven't thought about it.
That's exactly what I was saying to you, like, earlier. I feel like the best sessions you can have come, like, from between Sunday and Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
I think some of the loosest, like, nights I've had have been during the week when you're not meant to be drinking. It just seems to, like, hit a lot differently.
And you go the next day, and like, you still go to work the next day, and you think, how good was that yesterday?
Yeah.
You know?
The secret ingredient is, like, doing the wrong thing.
You just feel feel naughty doing it.
Feel naughty.
Because I remember in 2019 it would have been, just got me thinking, I made a website for you. We had a couple sessions before it, and the whole coach was like, we're going to take this because it was under 18s, and there was an 18s team, 20s team, and a seniors team. And it was all, we're taking it serious, no drinking, no nothing. We're out at bloody Mergen, I think it was.
Yeah.
Playing out at Mergen. We played the first game. It was 2 games the first day, 1 game on the second day. Won the first game, second game. We had to win the second game to make the final. And we got robbed something drastically. I'll put that out there.
I remember that.
Had about 3 or 4 games where 3-4.
It was like 8-4. It was 8-4 or something like that.
Yeah, it was a low-scoring game, and we got about 3 or 4 disallowed tries. And I think after we lost that game, our coach was like, "Yeah, righto. We'll go to the pub. We'll go to the pub for a couple of drinks." Went to the local pub wherever we were, and it was this little cozy shack. That's how I'd explain it.
Wandai. You're at Wandai.
We're at Wandai. That's right. Wandai. I think
Wandai.
it was the Bottom Hill pub or something like that.
Yeah, there's only one pub more.
There was,
I think.
no, there was 2. We're the one down the bottom of the hill.
Went off.
There was no pool table, no
rager.
pokies, no darts, nothing. There was a little fireplace.
No smokes.
That's it. No nothing.
Nah.
And we went there, and our coach is like, right, we'll stay here till about 10:30. We'll stay here till about 10:30, have a couple of beers, come home. And I tell you what, they were like $4.50 for a schooner, whatever you wanted.
Yeah,
It was
okay. That's
cheap.
all right.
That's an investment.
Oh yeah, proper.
It'd be stupid.
And we got written off. It was because 10:30, our bloody manager took the clock down from the wall and set it back about an hour and a half. So when our coach goes, it's 10:30, righto, we're going to go home. It's about 12 o'clock, midnight. The pub's closing anyways. And then we had to wake up and play football at like 8 o'clock the next day.
Yeah.
That was a good night.
I had a cracker every night one time. I remember back in my come back in time again. Back in my days, I'm talking about early '90s, and at the Sunshine Coast, Mooloolaba was the place to be. Mooloolaba Fridays was, you used to rock out there.
That's where the
it's actually a what's it called? One of those.
It's got the 150 lashes.
150 lashes.
James Squires.
It was Friday, and they had the fish aquarium and stuff like that there. And I ended up, one of my mates that I was playing footy with at Sharkies lived on the canal there near Mooloolaba. Shout out Lukey Alexander. So we turned up there. It was, I think it was either a New Year's Eve or it was a Australia Day. I can't quite remember. But Lukey had this little dinghy, and he's at the back of his canal. So we've driven around there just to get the $5 T-bone and salad, for lunchtime. That's what it used to be. $5 T-bone and salad. So we've turned up there. I'm wearing this shitty old singlet and a pair of board shorts, and we're in the beer garden. And then it was obviously building up for a big event. I can't remember. It was New Year's or Australia Day, either one. And so we were there, and we thought, oh Jesus. We're going pretty good here. We're having a good time. We're getting a bit of attraction there, getting some girls around, getting some, different guys come around and catch up. We ended up on the drink that night. We had full intentions to go home and get changed, come back in jeans. And security come around and would say, hey guys, you got to go get changed because we're in board shorts and singlets. By the end of the night, I had like napkins tied into my singlet that looked like a collar, so it looked like a collar. So the security would just wave at us, go, yeah, no, you're going pretty good. We ended up drinking with like Wendell Saylor, like all the like this is like I'm going early 90s. Like Wendell Saylor was like he was a no one then, but he was playing for the Kelowna Broncos, the Broncos reserve grade, and we ended up on the drink with those boys that day. And then come midnight, or near midnight, or post midnight, whatever it was, we thought, how are we getting home? Because I'm still wearing this singlet with napkin collars. We've had to jump into the water at Mooloolaba to get it back in the dinghy, and we drove back to his canal.
Oh, in the dinghy.
In the dinghy.
Pitch black.
No. Pitch black. You couldn't see a thing. Oh, it's ridiculous.
Change the time.
Worst hangovers. Who's got a good one?
I've had a couple. I'm only young. I probably had about 2 that I can really remember. One of them was after a New Year's, and I woke up. I think I jumped off a playset the night before into soft bark and most probably broke my ankle. But I didn't go to the hospital. I wasn't going to the hospital and so tough.
Too tough, man.
So tough. I woke up.
No, you're not.
I woke up the next day. Could not walk.
He's faking it.
Felt like crap. Couldn't eat. It sucks because this place I stayed the night put on this massive spread of food, bacon, eggs, like sausages. This massive breakfast. Couldn't eat. Could not hold the thing down. I'm drinking cold water and spewing it back up while it's still cold.
The next day. Yeah.
I
But
think
how good does it feel though? A good chuck after the next day. And young over.
Like your teeth
multiple of them don't feel that good.
No, when there's nothing in your belly.
You're just dry reaching and nothing's coming up. The best bit's when you got like that acidic shit. You got nothing but that comes up.
That sucks, man.
No, that's good. That's what I live for. That's why I drink.
You cuddle in the bowl thinking.
There is no good hangover. You're asking us a hangover story.
I feel like
This is the
because like we're still fairly young, like when we started drinking, you never suffer from hangover. Like, I look back when I was like 17, 18, drink a piece, and it's like, you fucking bounce out of bed the next one. You bounce, like you're sleeping over at someone else's house so your parents don't know you're fucking drunk. And then you bouncing out of bed. But I had one when I was 17 years old, the worst hangover possible to man on red wine.
Oh.
And it was me and a couple of mates out the back drinking red wine and vodka shots.
Untidy.
And underage, not know what the fuck we're doing. We just know that we're drunk. and spewing up, and it dead set looked like just blood.
Oh,
the next day,
I think
worst hangover of my life.
Yeah.
I think when our grades graduated, it was probably a good thing when you're young you don't get hangovers, because I tell you what, grad week backed up with schoolies.
I don't know if I don't think I could do schoolies again right now. I've been thinking about that. I don't know how I'd bounce back.
Schoolies followed by grad week, because grad week in itself was a bender.
Yeah.
Rocking up to, it was disgusting.
Our schoolies, like, how many people do schoolies wrong, Mark? Like, I feel like we did schoolies.
Yeah, there's a right and a wrong way to do it, and we're the only ones who ever fucking done it right.
Everyone who else done schoolies done it wrong.
But, like, I'd go into other people's rooms and, like, oh, well, we were fucking up early every morning, but waking every cunt up. But it was
and
like
then they were enjoying themselves, not feeling like shit.
Yeah.
But it'd be like 9, 10 o'clock, and we're all like already a couple beers deep, and just be like, and everyone just sleeping till like 1 o'clock, and you're just like, yeah.
The old
I was in bed by 8 o'clock every night, dinner, in my matching pajamas.
Dad's just come back in the room.
Dad's done for
we're talking about schoolies. So,
School.
But yeah, no,
I got
the worst hangover for me, like I can handle a spewing hangover, I cannot handle headache hangovers. Like dehydration headaches. Fuck, you just want to go lay in a park
I'm not.
naked.
See, I must say I'm probably more experienced with a hangover. That we matured out of. Like you do actually learn from experience.
Yeah, see something.
And that's what when Oscar, my eldest boy, we took him over to Germany a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And we actually done the beer fest.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. This is 2017, I think it was 2017.
Way back.
And it doesn't seem that long ago, before COVID, obviously. But when Oscar and I went over there, we said with full intention we're going to drink as much beer as we possibly can in Germany, and like over this 4 or 5 day period. And but every single night it was, here, take this, and it was always a multivitamin with a litre and a half of water. And you don't go to sleep till you drink that.
It was like a Barocca, wasn't it?
It's still their equivalent of a Barocca, I suppose, over there. I actually went over with a little pack of them.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, we were bright, done all the touristy things, and like over there, like you can turn up to breakfast. We were in in Munich itself, and you'd go to breakfast and have your bacon, eggs, or whatever, and they'll bring out a full pint of beer. Like you can get beer at like 7:30 in the morning.
Half a litre of beer.
Yeah,
for breakfast.
Yeah, and like
that's all right.
we never had a hangover over there at all.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that actually, because I've done that before. Put scuttled, you stumble in your room or whatever, and like before you head out, you crack a Barocca in a water bottle or something, scull it before you go to bed. Wake up the next day feeling better.
I find if I have a pretty big night and like before I go to bed, if I try and make myself vomit, bring most of it up, then I usually have a few. I usually take like Nurofen or something.
Yeah, a couple of Panadol.
I usually take a couple of Panadol and try and scull as much water as I can. I usually wake up alright the next day.
If you vomit, you're bringing up too much fluid, and
you
need the
probably
fluid.
get dehydrated.
You need the fluid. You got to keep the hydration.
Well, that's how
I was say, I feel as if you're trying to cure your hangover the next day, like you're no good.
You're already behind.
You're done.
Yeah.
The hangover's already got
you. You're chasing the game.
Well, see, we like I used to come home and then just raid the fridge, and usually Dad would have
I know that
meal in there.
I know.
And all there was beers. And
it's so
It'd be like
good.
spaghetti bolognese, but like it'd just be like fist marks in the spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't have to guess who it was.
And then
He's passed out of bed with spaghetti.
There's $1,000 cash sitting on the kitchen bench and still there. But there's fists of spaghetti out of it.
Spaghetti sauce all over your face, passed out in bed.
Yeah.
Pasta hanging out your mouth.
I wake up fresh as after that. Just wake up, fresh as fuck after
So
just
good.
like eating enough family to kill a fucking elephant.
Eating enough.
Yeah, that was dinner for the next day.
It was actually. That's how we prepared
Noah was starved, but at least he didn't feel hungover.
That's how Noah lost his 30 kilos.
Meal prep.
So we might wrap it up there. This has been episode 6 of Good Chat. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Josh, for coming in and having a chat. Just want to give a big thank you to our sponsor, big supporter of ours, Benny.
We're a big supporter of him.
We're a big supporter of him, absolutely.
We own shares.
Dolby Criterion, they are absolutely
shares.
the most popular pub in town, easily.
100%. Good pub.
Easily, good pub, good feeds, half
Good
decent
people.
gaming room.
Good vibes.
Oh, it's good when you're winning any game. It's very good when you're winning.
But no, massive thank you to Benny. He's been a massive supporter of the Pubcat since we've started. Any last words, guys? Any last words of wisdom?
You're doing good, bro. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Love what you're doing with the beanie and singlet too.
Thanks, man. I thought I'd go full fucking beanie and singlet for the podcast.
Full sweat.
Adios. So yeah, guys, if you feel like it, go ahead, like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Pubcats Ltd. If you're listening this on Spotify, thanks for being a supporter. This has been Good Chat, episode 6, season 1. Thanks for listening.